Hello, welcome back to the Autumn Acorn Knits podcast. My name is Judy and we are at episode number 16. I hope you can't hear the vacuum cleaner. Joe is vacuuming the bedroom right now. He took out his grandfather's old tool chest, which is a beautiful chest. His grandfather was very special to him. He actually lived with his grandparents for many, many years as a child and as a young teen. So anyway, yeah, he's vacuuming it. So if you hear that sound, it should stop fairly soon, I think. Unless he does the whole house, which I wouldn't mind. So yes, today is June 22nd, 2018. My last day of work for the summer was on the 13th. So yeah, I've had some more downtime, which has been wonderful. And I've been doing a lot of natural dyeing in my spare time. So I'll start with finished project. I am wearing my berry picking shawl, which is my own design. This is a rectangular shaped shawl. It is crocheted. It is relatively easy. I'll show you a little bit closer. It's a very lacy, kind of loose and stretchy, comfy and cozy. I'm super happy with the way it turned out. You can see how far down it goes on my back, and it just is nice and long enough that I can, if I want, wrap up in it completely. Today it was just cool enough this morning. It was about 40 degrees Fahrenheit outside, and believe me, I needed to cozy up in this shawl. I used fingering weight sock yarn, 75% wool and 25% nylon for this project. You could also wear it, honestly, in the spring or fall, and even in the winter, because it is long enough that you could wrap it around as a cowl, which you know I'm not very good at that. You could also, yeah, styling shawls is not my strength, but you could put it like this and just put, you know, let it hang in the back. I think that looks really pretty. You could do the opposite of that, maybe like let it hang down a little bit more, and then in the front you can let those ties hang down, or even a little tighter up here, and then it would hang down like that. So yeah, I'm so happy with it. It took me a long time to crochet because excuse me, I just didn't have the time to focus on it while I was working still. And then as soon as I finished, I just flew. Like, I just spent a couple of days in a row crocheting like a mad woman. The yarn that I used for this is my own hand-dyed yarn. You've seen this before. This is the first time that I had used an acid dye, a Cushing's acid dye in Aquilon wine color, and obviously it came out very variegated. In fact, different skeins. I switched up the skeins as I went along, but depending on the skein of yarn I was using, you can see the color changes and the variation in the color. So, but I'm really happy with it. This section was obviously much lighter, but you know, it's all just a learning process. So anyway, I released this pattern last night officially. I listed it on Etsy, and I will get it on Ravelry as soon as possible. I did want to give away a free copy of the pattern to anyone who signs up to be on my email list. So all you have to do is either leave your email address here on YouTube in the comments, or if you'd rather do it privately, you can email me your email address to theautumnacorn@yahoo.com. So either way, as soon as I see that you've left your email address, I'll add you to the mailing list, which I do not email very often at all, so don't worry, you won't be bombarded. But I will send you out a free copy of this pattern for your very own. So yeah, it's just a way of saying thank you for joining my mailing list. So I think that's everything I wanted to say about this shawl. I originally designed it. I had posted a picture of the yarn on Instagram and asked what I should name it, and someone had said something about berries, fresh berries or mixed berries or wild berries, and I thought that is something that I love to do in the fall or August, starting in really August and September, is pick the wild blackberries from our yard. And so I thought this would be perfect to throw on my shoulders if it's a cool evening and go out and pick berries. So that's where the name Berry Picking came from. So very exciting. Okay, let's see. I have been doing, and I consider these finished projects as well, but I've been doing a ton of natural dyeing with plants and food items. So I thought that I would show you all of my works. I'd love it if I could show them to you all in one. Let me try that. Look at that. How beautiful are those, right? I love them. All right, start with these. I did these yesterday. These are my blues, and I dyed these using black beans. So I bought just a bag of black beans, dry black beans. They were maybe $1.50 in the grocery store, and I put them in a pot of water, covered them with water, and then left that overnight. And the next day I heated it up and added the mordanted skeins of wool. And the first batch, when I took them out, they were this color blue, which I think is so pretty. It's probably my favorite shade. But then I thought, well, it looks like there's still some dye left in the bath, so I added 2 more skeins and ended up with this beautiful pale blue, which I love just as much. And I made these little tags. I just put on my Autumn Acorn sticker, and then on the back I hand wrote what I use. So this says dyed with black beans, 75% superwash wool and 25% nylon. It tells you how much you get, which is 440 yards or 400 meters, and that it's a fingering weight yarn. So I thought they were cute little wooden tags to use with some twine or hemp rope, actually. So yep, those were my experiment with black beans. Next would be when I used cochineal, which is the beetle, the dried beetle that loves to eat, I forget the particular cactus's name, but it loves to eat a particular cactus in the desert. So I had to order those from Amazon. But anyway, it gave me, well, my dye bath gave me these shades of pink. Again, so pretty. I honestly don't think you can dye anything with plants that doesn't come out beautiful. So these are all different, which is why I put a separate label on or tag on each one because they're just a bit, you know, this one is a darker pink, this one is the lightest, palest of the pinks, and then this one, interestingly enough, has some purple in it, some pale mauve or purple in it. So yeah, they came out really pretty. And that was on the same base, which was the fingering weight sock yarn with the nylon in it. Next one, I used avocado peel and pit and ended up with this beige kind of tan. It's not, it's a little bit washed out on the video. It's a it's a bit of a darker tan than is showing up, but I think it's so pretty. I didn't expect this color. I thought I would get pink, but you just never know. And this is on my 100% superwash merino base in a worsted weight, so you get 220 yards or 100 grams in that skein. Avocado. Next one looks similar to avocado in color. Maybe it's a little bit richer of a tan. And this was done with wildflowers. So Joe and I went out into the field. I picked these yellow wildflowers and orange wildflowers, and I just picked a whole bunch of them and put them all together in a pot of water and got it boiling and added the yarn and got this beautiful tan color. And this is on a sport weight 100% Peruvian Highland wool. 274 yards or 100 grams. And next we have this beautiful shade of yellow, which again is getting a little blown out. And this was from Yellow Onion Skin. This is 100% superwash merino wool, worsted weight, 220 yards or 100 grams, and it came out very variegated. So yeah, a lot of light and then some darker yellow. So beautiful. I wish I had done more of this. There goes the vacuum again. Do you hear that? I'm actually going to take off my shawl because it must be warming up outside because I am warm now. But that's okay. I can sit there and I can look at it. Next is these three in a beautiful bundle, and this color, I knew I'd have a hard time showing it, but it is, I want to call this maybe straw or wheat. It has yellow golden tones to it. Very hard to show you how beautiful this is, but this was done with pumpkin spice tea.
Yep, that's true. True that.
So I just steeped some tea bags. I think I used maybe 6 for this bag, for these 3. And again, you know, just boil them. And I believe, yes, I was told, or I read, that you didn't need to use a mordant with tea because of the tannins. But I believe I did use a little just to be safe because I would hate for the dye to come out again. And these still have a little faint smell of pumpkin spice tea, which I love. This again is the worsted weight base. So I'm really, really happy with those. I have to say though, these do have one small area, and it's right here. So I can show you that some brown showed up for some reason, but I just think it adds to the beauty of it because it's just so random. You do not know what you're going to get when you dye naturally. The last batch I have are probably my favorite, and I feel like these were really an accident, but the best kind of accident. So these are my greens. Although they are 3 different shades, you know, the skeins are 3 different. I feel like this is the darkest, this is the medium, and then this is obviously the light, but I felt like they went so well together, that's why I bundled them. And these were dyed, believe it or not, with red onion. Yeah, who would have thought? Just the skin, red onion skin. And this is what you get. Isn't that crazy? So I expected to get something maybe in the red family or the rust family or even the pink family. And what I did differently, though, and not even realizing it, was that I used an aluminum pot instead of a stainless steel pot. And that, I believe, is why I ended up with this gorgeous color. So I will be using that same aluminum pot the next time I dye with red onion skins, because the results were just so wonderful that I have to do it again. I also do want to try, though, in a stainless steel pot, just to see what shades I can get with using that process. So we will see. But I had more fun than I can even tell you dyeing this yarn and waiting to see what colors I would get and drying them and then seeing that the color changes even more. It's just so much fun, and I will be listing these on my Etsy shop soon, within probably a few days, but I will make an announcement on Instagram and in the Facebook group when I do that, so that you know, if you are interested in one or any of these, I'd be thrilled to send them off to you. So yeah, I'm not done. I have so many more to dye, and I'm, you know, still experimenting with different colors, and but I am going to just stick with the 3 bases that I have, which are the fingering weight, the sport weight, and the worsted weight for now. And I'll just see how they do, and we'll go from there. But I have been talking to Joe about a dye studio, putting one in the barn. So he's been looking on Craigslist for a free or very inexpensive stove, so that I would have the 4 burners, and then we'll look for some larger dye pots, and I'll need to get, you know, I'll put maybe a couple of microwaves out there if I don't choose to do it with the stove one day. And then I will get some kind of a shelving for the yarn. I actually think I have one already out there, so yeah. And then there's already a wood stove, and as well as a normal electric source of heat, so that I can dye even in the winter if I want. So stay tuned for that. I'll try to put pictures up, like before and after, as I acquire all of the things that I'll need for that. So really fun. Now let's see, I want to show you my dye notebook. I've shown this to you before. It's just a sketch pad, and it started out, I put projects that I've already completed, but then I decided I also wanted to keep track of the yarns that I was dyeing. But I do have in here the shawl that I just made, and then I started to put in some of the natural dye experiments. So here were some of the colors. I was able to get, and oh, these are so pretty. Here were the different tones from the pumpkin spice tea, depending on the stage that I put it in the dye pot. So those are really beautiful. This, again, a couple of shades for the cochineal, and I'd like to try again for a very, very, very pale pink, almost a blush color next, because I have a lot of the cochineal. This was another shade from the yellow onion skin. Obviously it's lighter. And the red onion skin before it gave me that green as it was turning. Here were some of the colors it was producing. The interesting part was that the water looked red and then the yarn you could see was green, so it was really weird. Oh, this was also a different tone that I got from avocado skin and pits. And I really liked that. I wish that was the color that I ended up with instead of, so you could see the difference. This one's darker, and I liked that better, but obviously when you put in the entire skein, it's going to be lighter. And I think that was it. Oh no, I also put in a couple of the shades that I got when I did black beans before I ended up with this shade, so you could see the difference there. Just depends on how long you put it in and how much material that you put in the pot. So there are very many variables for that. But anyway, that has been super fun. Okay, that leads me to our giveaway. So last episode, I asked everyone on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, what is your favorite color to knit or crochet with? And I said that I would be giving away a surprise, free prize this week, and I will do that now. So I have my iPad with a random number generator app that I like to use called Randomize, where you put in how many contestants there were and then you hit randomize. It will choose the number. I have written them all out, all of the names of you and what you chose for your favorite color to knit with. There were 39 entries, so the winner, let's see, I'm going to put in from 0 to 39. Okay, you can see where I've put in 0 to 39 and then hit randomize, and the winner is number 26 on my little list. I have everybody numbered, and number 26 is the slow knitter. You can see her there, 26, the slow knitter on Instagram, and she chose her favorite colors to knit with are pink and blue. So the slow knitter, if you're watching, please get in touch with me through Instagram, would probably be the easiest way, and you are going to get this beautiful free pattern sent to your inbox. This pattern is by Knit 10 in Stone, and it's called Life's a Beach, and it is absolutely gorgeous. There are it's a cowl, obviously a knit cowl. There are shells as well that I just think add so much texture to it, and I want to make it in the exact same color. So let's see, we'll have you get in touch with me, like I said, or you could get in touch with Knit 10 in Stone directly, and she will send you that free pattern. So congratulations on that. What did I do? I felt like there was something else I wanted to say. This pattern was just released by Estella. Gosh, it was a couple of weeks ago. It's very new, and Estella wrote a pattern that was so extensive. I mean, this is very long. This has everything you need with very detailed photos of each step of the way on how to design those shells. It's amazing, the detail that Estella puts in her patterns. I cannot recommend them enough. Just photograph after photograph. So yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, and congratulations to the slow knitter. Okay. Oh, by the way, when you do sign up for my mailing list and I send you the shawl pattern, here it is. Okay. More works in progress are, I'm still working slowly on the Silken summer straw sweater, and there's really not much to show. I'm keeping it in my needle cozy by the Steady Hand. She makes my favorite needle cozies because they have 3 snaps, depending on the size of your needle and your project. So anyway, you can see I have not gotten very far at all, and I'm still not 100% sure. I love this fabric. I do love the way it feels. The silk is amazing and soft and, you know, very organic feeling. It's just, I wonder if I should have used a smaller needle. But I'm still moving on and following it exactly as the pattern says. Using Ito Kinu, K-I-N-U, 100% silk. And I believe this is a lace weight. It is super fine. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. It has, well, it could be fingering weight as well. 400 and, can't see a thing, 464 yards. So, but it's 50 grams. So I do believe that's that is lace weight, but I'm not sure. This probably will not be finished to wear this summer, unfortunately. I just can tell by the way that I'm progressing on it that I'm just too slow. But I've had other things that I've been working on. That's probably why. Okay, now I'm chilly again. Wow. This weather in New Hampshire is crazy. Okay. Put it on again. Feels much better. All right. I also wanted to show you another design I'm working on of my own, and this one does not have a name yet, but I started out by doing a swatch, and I found some of this yarn in my stash. This is a fisherman's wool. It is delightful. It is not an expensive yarn. You get a lot on your skein, and I want to say it might be $11 or $12, but you can always use a 40% off coupon, so I often get this for maybe $8 or so. So well worth it. So I made up a swatch to see what I would think of this pattern in this yarn, and then I blocked it, and I love the way that this came out. I'm really happy with the way it feels, the way that it shows the stitch definition really well, and just the drape. So I went ahead and started a shawl pattern with it. I'll show you how far I've gotten so far. And I am using my Chow red lace interchangeable set that I talked about recently, and I'm so happy with them. I believe, I don't know, these are a bigger size. I think they might be an 8 or so, but I'm not sure. Anyway, this is how far I've gotten so far, and I'm really, really happy with the way it's turning out. My plan is, if it doesn't block out as wide as I'd like it, but I think it will, I'm going to add some sort of border. I haven't figured out all the details of that yet, but so far I'm pretty happy with what I have, and I should be finished with this, I'm gonna say, within about 2 weeks, maybe sooner, because I'm enjoying it a lot. It's really, really fun to knit. I love the garter sections where I don't have to think about anything, and then I can have conversations and I can watch a podcast or whatever and not have to focus on the pattern and the rows and what I'm on and checking off things. So that is that. Oh, I'm using my cute little Notions pouch that I got from Knit Picks. I just love it. It's so cute. I have a project bag as well in the same design. So yeah, other than that, things have been quiet around the house. We haven't really gone anywhere since our trip to Maine. We went out on the side-by-side yesterday and just went up the road a little bit, and then went up on the trails, but then we decided to turn around and come back. So I'm going to be foraging for mushrooms. I want to definitely dye with mushrooms, and the peonies are about to bloom, so as soon as they start to look sad, I will collect all those blossoms and dye with those. I just want to dye all the things. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for when I list the yarns on my Etsy shop. And again, please leave me your email address. Either leave it in the comments of this podcast or email it to me at the autumnacorn@yahoo.com, and that will add you to the mailing list. And I really, if I send out an email once a month, that's a lot. I don't do it very often, but it would make sure that you were aware of any new pattern releases or any new free patterns or any sales in the Etsy shop, things like that. So if you want to give me your email address, I would be so happy to send you a copy of my new pattern, the shawl that I'm wearing, the Berry Picking Shawl, and I will send it to you right away. So I think that's it for now. I hope you all have a great day and a great weekend. I'm going to try to upload this tomorrow and that's Saturday, so that I can enjoy the rest of the weekend dyeing wool and knitting. So thank you for tuning in. I'll list all of the places that you can find me on the World Wide Web, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Today I dyed some wool yarn using cochineal for the pink, and for the tan and the brown I just went out in the field and picked some wildflowers. I have no idea what they were. They were orange and yellow heads, and yeah, they made these two gorgeous colors. So it was so much fun. It's amazing what you can get from nature.
Tell me this thing has been there this whole time. No one's ever noticed it.